Yeah. Last time I was here, I used to play accordion. And then something happened in Buenos Aires. I was leading the kirtan with my accordion, and all of a sudden, something in my knee went, tore in my knee. Because the accordion was weighing like 8 kgs, and I was jumping up and down. So my knee went, meniscus, tore my meniscus. So then I went back to, I had to go, we had to change our plans. I went to Nepal, because there are many disciples there, and some are physiotherapists, some are doctors, some are Ayurvedic doctors, some are tantrics. So then, after some time, Vishnu Jan came, and he saw, he said, why you don't get it? Vishnu Jan is on this Harinam Ruchi party. He's the leader. So he said, why you don't get a keyboard? It doesn't weigh anything. You see? It weighs very little. So, hope it works now. So then I started playing back. Then I bought Bhakti Casio. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabya Hari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardha Hari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardha Hari. Yashoda Nandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Rajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Dalaba Lava Givarari. Gopi Dalaba Lava Givarari. Yasoda Nandana Brajanandana Yasoda Nandana Brajanandana Yasoda Nandana Brajanandana Yasoda Nandana Brajanandana Yamuna Tera Vanachari Yamuna Tera Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Vishnu Paramahansa Parivika-charya, also told us that the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Hare Krishna, Bhaktivedanta Swami, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam King. ISKCON founder, PVD founder, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam King. Jaya Vishnu Paramahansa Parivika-charya, also told us that the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam King. Ananda Gaudiya Vaishnava in the King. Namacharya Hare Rasa Karkite. Prabhupada Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati. Gaura Bhaktivedanta King, Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath, Shamakun Radhakun, Girigavadana King, Mathura Vrindavan Dharma Ki, Navadvip Mayapur Dharma Ki, Jagannath Puri Dharma King. ISKCON Melbourne Dharma King. Jamuna Maya Ganga Maya Ki, Śrīmati Tulsi Devi Ki, Bhakti Devi Ki, Sri Harinath Sankirtan Ki, Sankirtan Yagya Ki, Transcendental Book Distribution Ki, Transcendental Prasadam Distribution Ki, Transcendental Cow Protection Ki, Go Premanandi, all glories to Samuel devotees, all glories to Samuel devotees, glories to Samuel devotees, glories to Guru and Sri Gauranga, glories to Sri Prabhupada. Today we're hearing from Canto 7, which is entitled The Science of God, and we're hearing from chapter 14, which is called Ideal Family Life. That sounds interesting, no? Ideal family life. So we're all looking for, right? So which verse? 7? 6, okay. What time's the class supposed to finish?
9 o'clock.
Huh? 9. Woo, got a long time. How can I talk about ideal family life? Nobody, no self-respecting woman would have me. No decent woman would have me as a husband. So how can I talk about it? Anyway, Prabhupada, he had a very nice family life. I think he had several sons and daughters in Calcutta. But you know the story in Lilamrita. He also became disappointed because Rajani, his wife, they were not so interested in Krishna consciousness. Although they're a good Hindu family, it was a good Hindu family. But Prabhupada was, he was meant for higher things, for preaching all over the world, Prabhupada was. So you can't blame his wife or his family because Prabhupada's an exceptional person, not an ordinary living being. So, if you ever read Prabhupada Lilamrita, who's ever read Prabhupada Lilamrita? The life of Srila Prabhupada. Actually, you can get in, I think, 6 volumes. The first volume is called Lifetime in Preparation. It describes his childhood and college days, his days when he was serving in Gandhi's movement in India in the 30s. And then when he met his Guru Maharaj, then he was doing his business in Lucknow, Allahabad. And then he eventually found a process, separated from his family, tried to preach, then eventually took sannyas, and then struggled hard, and then came to the West, came to Australia. And it's a wonderful book by Satsvarup Das Goswami. If you can read that, then very nice. Okay. So this verse is 7, no? 7? 6, okay. Actually, if you don't mind, what I'd like to do, for my own sake and for others, is just to read the translations up to 6, okay? From the beginning of the chapter, so we get the context. You like that? Yeah, it's good, no? Because I wasn't expecting. Suddenly they asked me, you want to give class? I didn't want to say no. Prabhupada said, sannyasi should always be ready to give class without preparation. So, okay, we'll just read the Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Yudhishthira Vacha. Grihasta etam padavim viduna yena chanjasa yaya deva rishe bruhi madrisho griha mudadi. Maharaj Yudhisthira inquired from Narad Muni, "O my Lord, O great sage, kindly explain how we who are staying at home without knowledge of the goal of life may also easily attain liberation according to the instructions of the Vedas." That was verse 1. Verse 2. Shri Narada Uvacha Griheshva vestito rajan kriya kurvan yuto chita vasudevapanam shakshad upasita Maha Muni. Narad Muni replied, "My dear king, those who stay at home as householders must act to earn their livelihood, and instead of trying to enjoy the results of their work themselves, they should offer these results to Krishna Vasudeva." How to satisfy Vasudeva in this life can be perfectly understood through the association of great devotees of the Lord. 3 to 4, text 3 to 4. Shrinvan Bhagavato Vikshnan Avatara Katamritam Shradadano Yata Kalam Upasanta Janavrita Satsangas Chanaka Sangam Atma Jayant Majadishu Vimuchain Muchamaneshu Swayam Swapnavad Uttita. Translation. A grihasta, by the way, how many married people we have here? How many grihastas married? People who are married? Many, many. Okay. This is right up your street. This is right up your street. A grihasta must associate again and again with saintly persons, and with great respect he must hear the nectar of the activities of the Supreme Lord and his incarnations, as these activities are described in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and other Puranas. Can everyone follow my English? Is it okay? Yeah, sometimes I don't speak right. Thus, one should gradually become detached from affection for his wife and children, exactly like a man awakening from a dream. Wow. Wow, that would be interesting purport. You must have heard that yesterday. Is it a good dream or a bad dream? Bad dream, wake up. I once made a video, bad dream, wake up. Okay, text 5. Yavadatam upasino dehe geya ipanditaha vitrakto raktavattatra niloke naratam nyaset. While working to earn his livelihood as much as necessary to maintain body and soul together, one who is actually learned should live in human society unattached to family affairs, although externally appearing very much attached. What to do? Oh, hold on. I just came from London. It was it was 10 degrees there. It was very cold. And then stuck in the plane for 21 hours. Okay. When working to earn his livelihood as much as necessary to maintain body and soul together, one who is actually learned should live in human society unattached to family affairs, although externally appearing very much attached. Okay? So now we're coming to 6. Gyataya Pitara Putra Bhratra Sudrido Apare Yad Vadam Yad Ichanti Chanumodita Nir Mama Gyataya Pitaro Putra Bratara Surido Pare Yad Vadanti Yad Ichanti Chamumodeta Nirmama Gyataya Pitaro Putra Bratara Surido Pare Yad Vadanti Yad Ichanti Chamamodeta Nimama Gyataya Pitaro Putra Bratara Surido Pare Yad Vadanti Yad Ichanti Chamamodeta Nimama Yataya Pitaro Putra Bratara Surido Pare Yad Vadanti Yad Ichanti Chamamodeta Nimama Yataya Pitaro Putra Bratara Surido Pare Yad Vadanti Yad Ichanti Chamamodeta Nimama Gyataya Pitaro Putra Bratara Surido Pare Yad Vadanti Yad Ichanti Chamamodeta Nimama. Ladies, please. Gyataya Pitaro Putra Surido Pare Vadanti Yad Ichanti Modeta Nimama Gyataya Pitaro Putra Yad Ichanti Gyataya Pitaro Putra Bratara Surido Pare Thank you. Gataya. Relatives, family members. Pitaro. The father and mother. Putraha. Children. Bratara. Brothers. Suridaha. Friends. Apare. And others. Yat. Whatever. Vadanti. They suggest. In regard to one's means of livelihood. Yat. Whatever. Ichanti. They wish. Cha. And. Modeta. He should agree. Nirmama. But without taking them seriously. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. Oh, no purport. What am I going to do? We'll go on to the next verse. This is a long verse. Purport in the next one. Okay. Translation. An intelligent man in human society should make his own program of activities very simple. If there are suggestions from his friends, children, parents, brothers, or anyone else, he should externally agree, saying, yes, that is all right. But internally, he should be determined not to create a cumbersome life in which the purpose of life will not be fulfilled. Please repeat. An intelligent man in human society should make his own program of activities very simple. If there are suggestions from his friends, children, parents, brothers, or anyone else, he should externally agree. Yes, that is all right. But internally, he should be determined not to create a cumbersome life in which the purpose of life will not be fulfilled. So there's no purpose. So I'm going to the next one. But we won't do the word for word. I'll just read the Sanskrit quickly and go for the translation. Divyam Bhomam Chantariksham Vitam Achyuta Nimitam Tatsavam Upayunjana Etad Kuryat Svata Buddha. Translation. The natural products created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead should be utilized to maintain the bodies and souls of all living entities. The necessities of life are of three types. Those produced from the sky, from rainfall, from the earth, from the mines, the seas, or the fields, and from the atmosphere, that which is obtained suddenly and unexpectedly. Please repeat. The natural products created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead should be utilized to maintain the bodies and souls of all living entities. Can I have some warm water, please? Yeah. This is not warm. The necessities of life are of three types. Those produced from the sky, from rainfall, from the earth, from the mines, the seas, or the fields, and from the atmosphere. That which is obtained suddenly and unexpectedly. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. We living entities in different forms are all children of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as confirmed by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita 14.4. Sarvayonisha kuntaya murtaya sambhavantiya tasham brahma mahadyoni aham bija pradapita. Translation. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving Father. The Supreme Lord Krishna is the Father of all living entities in different species and forms. One who is intelligent can see that all living entities in the 8,400,000 bodily forms are part of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and are His sons. Everything within the material and spiritual worlds is the property of the Supreme Lord. Ishavashamiham sarvam Ishapanishad mantra, number 1. And therefore everything has a relationship with Him. Srila Rupa Goswami says in this regard, Prapanchikataya bodhya harisambandhi vastuna mumukshuvi parichago vairagyam falgu katyate. One who rejects anything without knowledge of its relationship to Krishna is incomplete in his renunciation. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 12256. Although Mayavad philosophers say that the material creation is false, actually it is not false. It is factual. But the idea that everything belongs to human society is false. Everything belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for everything is created by Him. All living entities, being the Lord's sons, His eternal parts and parcels, have the right to use their Father's property by nature's arrangement. As stated in the Upanishads, Tena Chaktena Punchita Magrada Kashasvedanam, Upanishad Mantra 1. Everyone should be satisfied with the things allotted him by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one should encroach upon another's rights or property. In Bhagavad Gita it is said, Anad bhavanti bhutani pajanyad anasambhava yagyad bhavati pajanya yagyad kama samudbhava. All living beings subsist on food grains, which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of yagya, sacrifice, and yagya is born of prescribed duties. Bhagavad Gita 3:14. When food grains are sufficiently produced, both animals and human beings can be nourished without difficulty for their maintenance. That is nature's arrangement. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai kamani savasha. Bhagavad 3:27. Everyone is acting under the influence of material nature, and only fools think they can improve upon what God has created. The householders are specifically responsible for seeing that the laws of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are maintained without fighting between men, communities, societies, or nations. Human society should properly utilize the gifts of God, especially the food grains that grow because of rain falling from the sky. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Yagyat Bhavati Pajanyat, same verse, 3:14. So that rainfall will be regulated, humanity should perform yagyas, sacrifices. Yagyas were previously performed with offerings of oblations of ghee and food grains. But in this age, of course, this is no longer possible, for the production of ghee and food grains has diminished because of the sinful life of human society. However, people should take to Krishna consciousness and chant the Hare Krishna mantra as recommended in the Shastras. Yagyai Sankirtana Praye Yajantihi Srimade Saha. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam 11.532. If people throughout the world take to this Krishna consciousness movement and chant the easy sound vibration of the transcendental name and fame of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there will be no scarcity of rainfall. Consequently, food grains, fruits, and flowers will be properly produced, and all the necessities of life will be easily obtained. Grihastas, or householders, should take the responsibility for organizing such natural production. It is therefore said, Tasyaiva heto prayate takovida. An intelligent person should try to spread Krishna consciousness through the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, and all the necessities of life will automatically follow. Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshuram Militam Dena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, yeah, I just remembered that a class by Prabhupada in New York in '66 to the first new devotees who were coming. And Prabhupada was frustrated in India actually, because he couldn't make any devotees. He only had one disciple, Acharya Prabhaka, who was a Sanskrit scholar. But when he got to New York, so many young people. They didn't know anything, they wanted to learn. So he was excited. So he was giving an example of how devotees were protected. He said that during the British regime, I think in the 30s, no, it could have been in the 40s, 1940s. No, it was 1940s, during the Second World War. Then the British, they wanted to the Indian people, Indian men should join the Indian army to fight against Germans. So they created an artificial famine. Prabhupada said that overnight, that the cost of rice jumped from like, I don't know what, it jumped like 10 times, more than that. Rice become 10 times more expensive overnight. It was a British arrangement so that people would starve unless they joined the army. Maybe it was 20 times. This was an artificial famine created by the British, and they wanted men to join the army where they would be fed. And they could feed their families also with their payment. So, Prabhupada, he was a grihasta, he was a married man, but he was devotee, of course, and offering his food to Krishna. But he inquired from his godbrothers and those in the line of Krishna consciousness, "Are you all right? What's happening? Do you have enough to eat?" And he said, yeah, we're okay. Krishna has provided for us. Whereas other people were starving. Many people died because they didn't have anything to eat. They didn't have... What's that? What are you doing? Huh? Throwing it is a disturbance. It really disturbs my class. It's bad enough anyway, I've got no brain. And when people are playing around in the class. So this is the point. Because they were devotee grihastas, Krishna provided. And all the devotees were okay during this artificial famine. So yagyat bhavati pajanya yagyat kama samudbhavaha. So the rains come from grains. This is the main point. It's being emphasized by Prabhupada. And we're forgetting it now. And we think we will go to the supermarket, everything will be there. And so on. But we're not, half the time, our modern civilization, we're not allowed to live simply. We don't come simply. We have to have a car, we have to have a phone, we have to have a mortgage to pay for our place, and the wife has one job, and I have another job. It's hard work. And just to maintain, pay off the mortgage. And just like Harinamananda's parents. I was talking with his father and mother. They had to work very, very hard. She got 2 jobs. She had to work with Nike, doing sewing, and he had also had another job to pay off the mortgage. And now they're old. They're like 60, in their 60s, and it's their own house. They're thinking, now it's my own house, but I have to leave my body soon. I can't enjoy my own house. Right? This is the condition of Kali Yuga. It's terrible for anyone, actually. Food has become so expensive. And even the farmers, now farmers in Delhi are protesting, the government, the prices of the food are not favorable for the farmers, and because now they use this artificial fertilizer, and they use this, they introduce this GM wheat, GM corn, GM rice, genetically modified foods. So that normally with the old style farmers would plant their food, plant their grains, or their wheat, or the makai, or the corn, or everything, and then they would keep some seeds for next year. But now you can't do that. You keep some seeds, you plant them, they won't grow because they're genetically modified. You know that? Many farmers in India committed suicide because they didn't. The wheat which they saved from the previous crop to plant for the next year, it wouldn't grow. So nothing to eat. So this is a very demonic society. It's a hopeless case. Kali Yuga is a hopeless case. That's why you came to Australia. Many Indian community came to Australia. Like Harinamananda's family, they came. Their grandfather came. Because the situation wasn't good. Previously in India, Prabhupada was saying, India was a very rich country. They're exporting so much rice, and they had gold, they had so many things. And they were so rich that the Europeans came to try and exploit and take everything. This is the story. And they had such a high culture that the British thought that the only way to control these people is this Varnashram Dharma, this Vedic culture, is if we destroy their faith, make them seem like they're simpletons, they're primitive. They should be like the British with railways and electricity and motor cars and mobile phones and everything. We should break their faith in their simple life, simple living and high thinking. And that's what the British did. The British opened the first slaughterhouses for cows in Calcutta. It was the British. I'm British, by the way. I'm ashamed of that, actually. Of course, in most Indians, they did good for us. Now we have railway, now we have planes, now we have electric light, blah, but we have to pay for it. And how do we pay for it? Price of food goes up, and we go to modern education. It doesn't teach about the purpose of life. I was in England, I was brought up in England. My parents were very educated people. My mother was an MA in English literature. My father was a scientist, developing a metal, special metal for knee joints and also for turbines during the war. Very educated people. Our house was filled with books. But one day, I went to my mother. I was age 6. We had a house. I mean, we lived in a house. My mother had a car. My father had a car. We weren't very rich. We can say middle class, lower middle class. So I said, Mommy, where do we come from? Just imagine, your little child. Mommy, where do we come from? My mother went red in the face. She thought I was talking about the birds and the bees, about sex life. She didn't know what to say. Oh, she said, oh, well, when Mommy and Daddy kiss, that's where you come from. Oh, my goodness, you know. She was MA. She didn't have any knowledge. If only she had said, my dear son, never was there a time when you did not exist. Nor you. She could have quoted Bhagavad Gita. Never was, Krishna said, never was a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. Savayonisha kuntaya, murtaya sambhavantiya, tasham brahma mahadyoni, ambija prajapi. Krishna is your real father. You're part and parcel of Krishna. Jivara swarupa hoy nityara Krishna. The soul is the eternal servant of Krishna, my dear boy. And by your previous karma, what's that verse? Karma nadaiva netrena, you took birth in my womb. by your previous karma, you've had many, many births. We've had many, many births. Many, many mothers and fathers. Yeah. Many, many families. In many, many countries. Many, many species. But because all species are Krishna's parts and parcels. Mamaivam so jiva loke, jiva bhuta sanatana. Manasastani indriyani, prakriti-stani kashiri. Krishna says, all living beings are my eternal fragmental parts and parcels. And they're struggling hard with the 6 senses, which include the mind. Yeah. If only my mother had said that. I wasted at least 20 years of my life. Because I never heard this transcendental knowledge. But you're so fortunate. Lord Chaitanya said, Bharata bhumi te hoila manusya janmaya, janma sata kakaro para upakara. Now you've got this human form of life. In the line, you've descended probably from Bharatavasa culture, Indian Vedic culture, Sanatana Dharma. You know many things, more than these Westerners. You know, the Westerners don't know so much, even if they're Christians. The Christian religion, I was born up in a Christian family. So they don't know about reincarnation. It's just like, you live one life, you go to heaven or hell. Finish, bus. Crazy. That's a bad deal, you know. Very bad deal. But there's no philosophy. Excuse me, I don't know, I'm not trying to put down the Christian religion, because there's many good, wonderful things about it. When I was a child, my hero was Lord Jesus. One time I was with my parents in the lounge. My uncle was there. I was just 4 or 5 years old, 6 years. And they all looked at me. All of a sudden they looked at me. Nikki, what do you want to be when you grow up? Do you ever ask your children this? What do you want to be when you grow up? You want to be a jet pilot? Do you want to be, racing car driver? So I said, I want to be a monk. I said, no you don't. No you don't. I didn't realize that was going to come true, you know. I didn't realize, you know. I wanted to come true. But I could see that Jesus, he had a goal in life, a purpose of life. He was my guru, you know. He believed there was a Father. Just like Prabhupada is saying. The Father's providing everything, the food, the water, the sky, everything. Government can government provide the rain? Last time I was here, I wrote a letter to the Prime Minister of Australia. What was his name? I wrote a letter. I say, you got this problem with the forest fires burning everywhere, and bad climate change. It's just because we are not satisfying God. We're not performing yajna, sacrifice. And you should get these people to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. And it's obvious, you know. Just like, you know, unless we're stupid, just like you pay your electricity bill, right? But if you don't pay the electricity bill, what happens? You pay your water bill. If you don't pay the water bill, then what happens? No more water, no electricity. You pay your tax for your car, or else you get had up. You have to have a license, all these things. So what about, where does this light come from? It comes from the sun. Where does the heat come from? The sun. It comes from the sun. And where does the air come from? It comes from nature. Where does the earth come from? It's all being provided by something. You call it nature. You call it nature, but the modern scientists, they try to cheat us. They say, well, nature's just happened by chance. And we've come from monkeys. That's what they're teaching your children at school and college. That's what they're being taught. You send your kids to good Australian school, and this is what they're being taught. There was a big bang, or a primordial soup, from some... Where did anything get created by a big bang? If I brought a big bang in here, everything would be wrecked. But that's what your children are being taught. Yeah. So what's the future of your children? Yeah. And they can come here and they can listen, but we should have nice schools, Krishna conscious schools. Do you have any Krishna conscious schools in Melbourne to teach your children? And not this body, their spirit, soul, the laws of karma, who is God, how to love God. And actually in the Bible, when I was a child, Jesus was saying we should love God. That's the whole teaching of the Bible and the Quran. All scriptures say you should love God. But they don't say who is God. It's a big problem. Because, we want to love someone wholeheartedly. And we've been hearing in these verses, you should have a wife, you'd have your children, but you shouldn't be too attached. Because after all things must pass. Your body must die, your wife must die, your children must die, everyone must die. Tesham pramata nidanam pashyanapi na pashyati. This is an important verse. Deha pacha kalatradishu atma sanyas vasatsapi. We get too attached. We think our children can save us, our mother and father can save us, But they're fallible soldiers. Atma sanyas vasatsapi. They cannot help us at the time of death, unless they're chanting Hare Krishna. If they're chanting Hare Krishna, it's the best thing they can do. But materialistic, what can a materialistic person do? He doesn't know the holy name to chant Hare Krishna. So people don't see their inevitable destruction. Although they're far, we all know, we've heard this a million times. But anyway, this is material life. So what to do? I remembered one verse from Bhagavad Gita. Dhanam dhanam chayagyascha. These are the duties of a grihastha, family life. This is the 16th chapter. There's a long purport there. Duties of sannyasi, duties of grihastha, everything. Dhanam, dhammam, chayagyascha. These are the three things for grihastha. Dhanam, charity. Dhanam. Dhanam means that you should give charity to spread this Krishna conscious movement, to support the spreading of... I was just thinking today, somebody told me they wanted to change this nice garden in the back garden into to build something there. I thought, what's the point? Why not build more temples in Melbourne? This is such a beautiful garden. And there were fountain and everything, flowers, butterflies. It's like a unit. It's like spiritual world here. But why there shouldn't be many spiritual worlds in Melbourne? Why only one temple? Why only one Radha Ballabha? We have many Radha Krishna temples. How many millions of people in Melbourne? What's the population? 5 million. Huh? 5 million. So, room for plenty more temples. Yeah. We should get it together. Bharata bhumite hole manusya janmaya janma sataka karo parabhaka. So you're born in Indian families. You can say Indian families. That's okay. So what's your duty? You've got the human form of life. Janma Satakokor, learn Bhagavad Gita, the purpose of life, and then do welfare work for others. The poor Australian people, they don't know anything. Just, okay, I'm going surfing. Do you think the goal of life is surfing? And then drinking. It's a civilization of drunkards. Yeah. And then eat a lot of meat, and have a lot of sex, do gambling. It's not actually human life. But you've been brought up in this wonderful culture. You came to Australia, maybe you had expectations to be happy here, but then you saw you had to pay your mortgage, to pay your car, things are expensive, you know. Probably you wish you were back in India. Hands up those who wish you were back in India. Yeah, I know India, I spent many years in India and Nepal. Yeah. Here it's not simple living and high thinking. It's high living and simple thinking. You get that? It's a joke. It's not simple living and high thinking. It's high living and simple thinking. Nobody laughed. You understand what I'm saying? There's people trying to live high, but they're not happy. Why? Because they don't know the science of Krishna consciousness. Anyway, if you're grihastic, Prabhupada says, Dhanam, you must give charity to help spread this movement. Let's open more temples in Melbourne. Why travel 45 minutes? Just like Harinamananda's parents. 45 minutes they have to drive to this temple. We should make a temple in their own house there. And you know, make a nice temple in that area and in many other areas. Because people have to be educated. But the purpose of ISKCON to systematically teach the science of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna consciousness to society at large. It's not that this temple should be an Indian social club. All the Indians come together, you know, speak that Hindi and speak Nepali and get their kids married. That's not the idea. ISKCON is supposed to be a place where we educate the human society to become humans. Because, you know, you're so fortunate, you are humans. You've come here because it's your tradition, your culture, your Hindu culture. You have the beautiful deities here, Jagannath, and wonderful. You come here, you feel at home, feels like India. But you've come here to a foreign land, and they don't know nothing. This is my bad English, just to emphasize. They don't know nothing. These Australians, they don't know nothing. They don't know anything. That's why we're going to have Rath-yatra on Sunday. It's not just for Indians. The idea is that we want to attract the local people, the natives, the peasants, the natives. We want to get them to join in and take to Krishna consciousness. Because unless they know anyway, let's go back to the Grihastha duty. Dhanam, giving charity. So, okay, you're going to start new temples all over Melbourne. Thank you very much. Dhammam. Oh, this is a very difficult one. Dhammam means self-control. Grihastha life is meant for self-control. Yeah. Because you're living with a man, you're living with a woman in close, you know, man is like butter and a woman is like fire. It says it in the Vedas. So, you know, unless you have sense control, you're going to have trouble. Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada, Grihasthas shouldn't use contraceptive methods, or worse than that. Yeah. But do the average, do the Grihamadis, do the Australian people know that? No. You think sex is for recreation, not for creating good children who will know the purpose of life. So we're living in cat and dog society. Excuse me, what's the name of the Prime Minister of Australia? What's his name? Anthony? Anthony? Angani? Agony. They won't publish this video. I know they'll cancel my video. It's better somebody makes some private recordings of this video. They ban my videos usually, my lectures. So, Anthony Agony. So the thing is that without the science of God, people are like cats and dogs. They don't know the purpose of life. So the children who are born without the Garbhadan samskar, there's a way to have sex. The Australians don't know that. There's a way to have sex so you can have good children. Garbhadan samskar, it's a formality that grihasthas have to perform. So that there can be good offspring, good progeny, not delinquents. And Vana Sankara. Vana Sankara means unwanted progeny. The kind of progeny that takes a gun and shoots everybody in the street. It's going on all over the world. You read it in the newspapers. In America, some guy goes into the supermarket and just starts shooting because he's watching video games. He's got no brain. Probably taking drugs. So this is what's happening, my dear Prime Minister. Without knowing the goal of life, the science of God, science of Krishna culture, things will go from bad to worse. But here in Bhagavad Gita, the science of God, it's being explained. The duties of a married man is to perform sacrifice so that there's sufficient rain, sufficient food, and the good children who are not delinquents and drug addicts and confused generation. This is science. ISKCON, Hare Krishna, has the answers to all the problems in Australia, including forest fires. It's all there in the books. You don't have to invent anything. It's all there. Dhanam dhamam cha yagyascha. Self-control. Married life is meant for self-control, having good children. And then yagya, sacrifice. Because married people have jobs. They have to work, they have money. So they can perform sacrifice. Just like I was in, where was I? I was in London. Then we were invited to a very nice house, outskirts of London, north of Watford. Rich man, big house, big garden. And we were invited. We were from Soho Street Temple. All the brahmacharis came. And nice prasadam. We had kirtan and prasadam. And the kirtan is the thing for this modern day and age. You don't have to pay a lot of money to buy a lot of ghee or have a big house. We can chant the holy names. It's free. We just have a tongue. And say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. We don't even have to have Bhakta Casio. We have this because we go on the street. But you just clap your hands. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. And not just for Not just for your own family. Why not invite the people next door who are Australians? The whites or the Aborigines. They can join in this Hare Krishna. Because if we want to save Australia from more degradation, more forest fires, more shortage of food, from war, from famine, disease, they're probably inventing a new COVID coming around the corner. How to prevent these things? The only way is to take shelter of God. Because God is providing everything. God has provided us, we are alive. He provided these bodies, He provided this nature. So why shouldn't nature look after us? If we're delinquents, if we don't want to, if we're ungrateful to God, how will God provide for us? To show our gratefulness, we must chant the holy names of God in this age. And we don't say the Muslims have to chant Hare Krishna. We don't say Christians have to chant Hare Krishna. They can if they like, because it's very nice. It's a simple hymn. But if you have other names of God, Allah, and so on, Hallelujah, or whatever, I don't know, other names that Christians chant, Jesus, let them chant the names of God instead of just turn off the mobile phone, turn off the TV. And Prime Minister, my dear Prime Minister, ask your citizens, please let's have 1 hour, half an hour. Let everyone in Australia chant the names of God. What's the loss? What's the loss? You'll lose your job. They'll kick you out. You lose your votes if you mention the word God. Now God is a dirty word. All over the world, no politicians mention God. It's a dirty word. Because all the schools and colleges are teaching that nature is causeless. No, there's nothing behind nature. There's no God in control. It's in the Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter. Asatyam apratistam te jagadahor anishwaram aparasparam sambhutam. Everything comes from asatyam. There's no truth. Asatyam. There's no basis to anything. There's no foundation. Apratistam jagador. There's no controller. In other words, we are the controller. Nature is the controller. United Nations is the controller. Australian government is the controller. It's not. When the forest fire comes, there's nothing you can do. When the flood comes, there's nothing you can do. But who's controlling nature? That is being taught in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So we request the leaders of Australia take an interest in this Krishna conscious movement. Take these books, study these books for how to rule society, how to make people happy. You may think, well, Hare Krishnas, we're just a bunch of fools on the street chanting Hare Krishna. No, this is actual science, so that nature provides for human society. People will be happy, and you can use these books in the colleges and schools. So if anybody wants to take any books from our bookstore, do you have a bookstore? I can give my sannyas mantra in your book, and my blessing for your family and children. These books are very important, or you can listen to Prabhupada's lectures on your phone or whatever. But anyway, please, you're responsible community. Please spread this Krishna conscious movement for the sake of the Australian people. This is the duty the Lord Chaitanya has given you. Para upakar, do welfare work, not just for Indian community, but for everyone in Australia and England, everywhere. Thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Okay, I'm going to talk too long. A few minutes for questions, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah?
Thank you for a wonderful morning.
For what?
For a wonderful morning.
Wonderful what?
Morning. Morning.
Morning?
Yeah.
Krishna's given the morning, not me.
I wanted to ask you, because you were speaking before about Christianity and Islam. Why is it, do you think, that there's a lot of mention of God, but there's no mention of who is God? Why? Why is that?
Yeah. Nice question. Why? Even Narada Muni, he chastised Vyasadeva. You've written Mahabharata, you've so many Vedic scriptures, but you haven't sufficiently glorified Krishna. People don't know who is God. So they're going to be misled into simply sense gratification. Yeah. Because lack of knowledge. That's why Lord Chaitanya has come. Krishna Vanam Tisha Krishnam Sango Pankashta Pashanam Yagya Sankirtana Praya Yajanti Hi Sumadesa. Krishna comes chanting Krishna in golden form along with his associates, so that the leaders, people with sufficient intelligence, will perform the Sankirtan Yoga. And by chanting Hare Krishna, the mind is cleared. Just like you have a mirror. You see, a mirror is full of dust. You can't see your face. You can't see your face. So people are blinded by ignorance. They don't know who they are. Just like animals. They don't know who they're spirit souls. Therefore, because there's no Sankirtan Yagya, the Christians are not chanting the names of God on the street, neither the Muslims. We're the only people doing it. Hare Krishna people, the only people are going on the street, chanting the names of God for the benefit of everyone. And I tell you, I've seen many, many times, every day actually, we go on the street, Vishnu Jan making heavy rhythm, and we're chanting, people are drinking their beer, eating their steaks, and their girlfriend, but they're tapping their feet. They're clapping. So we say, hey, can you say Hare Krishna? And first of all, they're embarrassed. But because there's rhythm and we're friendly, they say Hare Krishna. And the next thing they know, they're dancing with us. And they're chuckling. It's like their mind is opened up more than any kind of drug, cocaine or LSD, anything. They suddenly realize, for at least a few seconds, I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul, I'm happy. A smile comes on their face, their eyes open up, their aura opens up, just by this chanting Hare Krishna. And I'm not saying special, anyone can do this. Anyone can do this, get people to chant Hare Krishna. The whole atmosphere changes, at least for a few moments. And Krishna says, Vyavasayamaku, sorry, Naya Bikramana Susti, Prachyavayana Vijay. Even a little bit of devotional service, Svalpam Apesya Dharmasya, Trayate Mahatoba, can save these poor people in Australia, ignorant fools. Shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that, but I did. I'm from Britain, so I can say that, you know. You can't say that. But can say them from going back down to animal life, next life. You know, they have cars, they have bars, they have mobile phones. But what happened in the next life? Dogs and cats. Are we going to let the Australian people become degraded like that? Now they have the human form of life. It's meant dharmena hina pashabhishamana. The difference between us and the animals is that we know dharma, the purpose of human form of life. Yeah. So the reason is they don't have knowledge. We have the knowledge. Who is God? Who is Allah? Who is Jehovah? They don't know. So their natural loving propensity can never be satisfied. That's why they, illicit sex, gambling, intoxication. Everyone's looking for love, for satisfaction. But they can't find, they're desperate. And more drugs, more and more beer, more and more sex. Totally frustrated. End up killing each other. Israelis versus the Pakistanis, the Russians versus the Ukrainians. The best thing, they wanted some fun, so let's kill each other. Because they don't know who is God. They don't know how to love Krishna. Mr. Putin, Mr. Zelensky, Mr. what's his name, Netanyahu in Israel, and all the religious faiths, Islam, Christianity, and even Hinduism, Jews. The problem is you don't know who is God. This is a problem. You don't know who is that all attractive, lovable person. Krishna means all attractive. Rama means the source of all pleasure. And Hare means the merciful, feminine aspect of God. So the whole world is in dire state, about to blow itself up. There's a clock. Have you ever heard of that? There's what the scientists have invented, a doomsday clock. So when it gets to 12 o'clock, that will be atomic war. Now it's like about 5 minutes to 12. Nobody knows how to stop it coming to 12. But we know how to stop it. The Hare Krishna movement, if people spread this holy name, chant the holy names, then everything can change. The demigods can provide plenty of food. People don't even believe in demigods now. They believe in climate change. They don't understand behind this climate is Lord Indra, Mahendranath. He's controlling the clouds. They don't know that the water is being controlled by other demigods. They don't know there are personalities in this universe, and they don't know they're ignorant of the science of God. So, especially for you born in Bharat, I become devotee, Hare Krishna devotee, because of Srila Prabhupada. One Indian. He did all this. He came to America. And he came to London also. 71, I took initiation. We got a temple in London, and so because of one devoted, very, very, very devoted, special spiritual master. We can't be like Prabhupada, but we can do our bit. We can be enthusiastic to preach, and distribute books, and open more centers in Melbourne. So, I don't know, it's terrible. Only one center in Melbourne. Delhi, we have about 15 temples now. Big temples. Of course, this is not Delhi, but we can have more centers. Oh, Aniruddha will get angry at me for saying this, because he just believes in Radha Ballabh. Why not the other Radhas? Radha Gokula Nanda. I heard there's a nice farm somewhere they're making milk for us. So we can have many more temples in Melbourne. Or many Nam Hats. Do we have Nam Hats? Yeah. How many Nam Hats?
25.
Huh?
25.
25? 25? In Melbourne? Yes or no?
Yes.
Wow, that's great. That's great. And then these Nam Hats can become centers. and there can be temples. This is the way to do it. Congregational chanting, Jai Pataka Maharaj. Yeah. So thank you very much. Any more questions, please? Over time now. Yeah?
Just one question, Maharaj. Thank you. As you mentioned, as Grihasthas, we should give charity, but at times in our corporate life, there is this corporate social responsibility. We are forced to give as a donation there. So how does it impact the Grihasthas? Because we are not able to fully give for our spiritual, for our ISKCON centers. Sometimes it goes there also. So how do we work that out?
What are you saying is that from your salary, that you're forced to take from your salary?
It's not a, it's just a peer pressure. It is, it's kind of a peer pressure.
You give to who?
Do we give it to other organizations which do some kind of charities there, social charities?
We don't have food for life here?
We have.
So why you can't give for food for life? Feed the hungry people.
We are giving here, Maharaj, but apart from that, there is in our corporate life, there is also other programs for which we have to give this thing there. So
and give as little as possible. Throw in a $10 and then you give the rest to ISKCON. You have to play the game, no? When you're living in a materialistic society, you have to play the game. Just like Prabhupada says, you should, in this purport, you should pretend that you're happy, actually. But your real happiness is with Krishna. So you have to play the game. Yeah. What to do. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. There's a song I like to sing now. Just we can stand up or sing it. Vande Krishna Nanda Kumara.
Vande Krishna Nanda Kumara.
Nanda Kumara Madana Gopala.
Nanda Kumara Madana Gopala.
Madana Gopala. Madana Gopala, Mohana Rupa.
Madana Gopala, Mohana Rupa.
Madana Gopala, Mohana Rupa.
Madana Gopala, Mohana Rupa.
Mohana Rupa, Nanda Kumara. Mohana Rupa, Nanda Kumara. Jai Jaya Deva Hare.
Jaya Deva Hare.
Jaya Jaya Deva Hare.
Jaya Deva Hare.
Govinda Hare Gopala Hare.
Govinda Hare Gopala Hare.
Govinda Hare Gopala Hare. Jaya Prabhu Dina Dayala Hare. Jaya Prabhu Dina Dayala Hare. Vande Krishna Nanda Kumara. Vande Krishna Nanda Kumara. Nanda Kumara Madana Gopala. Madana Gopala Mohana Rupa. Mohana Rupa Nanda Kumara. Jai Jaya Deva Hare. Jaya Krishna Hare, Jai Rama Hare. Jai Krishna Hare, Jai Rama Hare. Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nitai Go, Jagannath Baladev, Subhadra, Shri Radha Balam. Nitai Go, Jagannath Baladev, Subhadra, Shri Radha Balaba. Nitai Gaur Subhaga Shikiranavala Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, oh oh oh, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaur Haribo. Mahaprasadam ki, Gopremanande. Bhaktivedanta Prabhu ki.
Fasting till breakfast.
Fasting till breakfast.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamstam Shri Rupam Chakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sadivam Shadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur-Bhakta-Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur-Bhakta-Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur-Bhakta-Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna